Dans! Like, where's our youth? Hellos? Are yous in here? Hello, Dans. You're not in here, or are you? Oh, you're like on the computer. Let's see what you're looking up. Let's see. It says... Like, I don't... Wait a minute. Advocacy, I know that's words, of women's rights. That sounds cool. Like, I'm gonna check that out and learn all about the feminisms. Like, oh my god, this will be so much fun. I'm going to be the best feminist of all times. Let me look it up on the Wikipedias, cause that's like the first link. Oh my god, so many words. Let's see. This is boring. I'm just gonna ask somebody to teach me about it. Hellos, I'm Heathers, and I want to learn about feminism. Enters. New response. That was fast. It's not my job to educate you. What? Look, I want to learn about it, but I don't want to read about it. Just tell me about it. Like with a video or something. Google like the video yourself. Wow. Like, can you just like tell me what video to watch? Like, you knows the video I want better than I do, so I don't even know like how to like search for it. Enters. I want to kill you in your face. What? That's not nice. Stop saying like you want to kill me in my face. That's not nice. Oh, that person's a troll. Oh, you're a stupid girl. No, I'm not. You're a stupid girl. No, I'm not. I'm a guy. Okay, you're a stupid guy then. Laws. Roll a full copter? What's that? Look, who was the first person I was talking to? I gotta go back. I already told you atheism and everything elseism needs feminism. What? No, that's not what I was asking. Like, what is it? I don't want to read all this stuff. Oh my god, just go read it. It's not my job to educate you. But I need to be educated. Whose job is it? It's your job. But I don't, it's not my job to educate myself. You're not that interested. Yes, I am. Of course I'm interested. I looked it up on Wikipedia, but there was so many words I didn't want to read it. So, like, just give me, like, a video. Wow, lots of swearing. Like, they're telling me to F off. Wow, rude. Like, what the heck? What's going on? Like, stop! Oh, they're being so mean to me. What's a trigger word? I don't know. Are you CIS? What's CIS? Okay, that I'll Google, cause, like, I don't want to sound stupid. Okay, CIS. Let's see what that is. Okay, it says... denoting or relating to a molecular structure in which two particular atoms or groups lie on the same side of a given plane in a molecule. No, I'm not one of those. Okay, go back to the thing. See, it says it right here. I'll prove it. It says it right here. Google told me what it is. So, okay. Now, let's go back to that other post. And, where was it? Uh-oh. There he is. Okay, I am not a CIS. I is a woman's, right now. And I want to know about this feminism because it sounds really nice. Please tell me about, like, a video or something I can just, like, listen to. And, like, don't tell me to Google, because I don't even know what to Google. So, like, where is it? Just, like, give me, a link or something. Oh, my God. Enter. No. You do it yourself. Okay, forget it. I don't want to be a feminist anymore. I don't even know, why I was so interested in the first place. Nobody wants to, explain it to me. And, wait. I think I hear Dan. Dad!
Heather, what are you doing in my room? Get out of my room.
No, wait, I want to know about feminism.
No, go away. I'm not doing any videos on feminism ever again.
No, please tell me about feminism. I really want to know.
No.
Please, please. I won't leave your room until you do.
Oh my God.
You said God, even though you don't believe in it.
Oh, shut up, Heather. Okay, look. Okay. All right, fine. I'll do a video.
Yeah, you'll do the video. You'll do all the videos.
Stop it.
Just tell me what it is.
I'll do one video where I analyze one thing about it.
Okay, will I learn anything?
I don't know.
Okay, is it gonna have the goddess Venus in it?
No! Get out of my room!
No, wait, what are you doing? This is abuse help!
Stay out. Alright. Now it's time to be serious.
Hey, Converted Man here. Okay, so of Skunks and Sea Lions, which was posted November 14th, 2014. So it's a little dated. There might be a new one. There might be a different one. This is from a male, but he is a feminist male. So it might be irrelevant because he's mansplaining to us, and perhaps we need a woman's post about what skunks and or sea lions are. But at any rate, let's go ahead and confront misogyny, male privilege, and the masculine mystique, and read of Skunks and Sea Lions. I'm going to skip where he complains about stuff, because that's not relevant. What are sea lions? Well, I thought they were a mammal, but okay. Sea lions are trolls in human clothing. What? They assume an air of mock civility in order to get you to engage them. What? And it's only after you engage the sea lions for some time that their true purpose becomes clear. And then we have this comic here. I don't mind most marine mammals, but sea lions? I could do without sea lions. Don't say that out loud. Pardon me, but I couldn't help but overhear. Now you've done it. I would like to have a civil conversation about your statement. Would you mind showing me evidence of any negative things any sea lion has ever done to you? Go away! There's no need to raise your voice. I'm right here. I'm just curious if you have any sources to back up your opinion. You're in my house! You made a statement in public for all those to hear. Are you unable to defend the statement you made, or simply unwilling to have a reasoned discussion? Told you, dude. Sea lions. I have been unfailing polite, and you two have been nothing but rude. I'm trying to eat breakfast. Very well. We shall resume in an hour. Okay, so I guess this is supposed to make the sea lion seem bad, but to me it doesn't. It makes the person seem bad. There are problems with what the strawman sea lion is. I can't believe I just said that. The strawman sea lion has said in this comic. Let me break it down. So, the person says that they don't mind most marine mammals except for sea lions. They don't like them. Okay. So, then this sea lion wants to talk about this idea that they have. Now, he strawmans her, and I'm assuming it's a guy sea lion. Otherwise, it'd be a sea lioness, I guess. Anyways, he strawmans her by asking for evidence of negative things. That's not what she said. She says she could do without sea lions. So, well, what he should be asking her is, why do you not like sea lions? Or why could you do without sea lions, or something like that, instead of asking for evidence of negative things. Although, perhaps in his mind I can't believe I'm analyzing the comic about a sea lion. Whatever. Perhaps in his mind he thinks that she thinks that sea lions are bad because they've done something negative to her, which could be cleared up by just her saying, look, I don't like sea lions. That's all. It's just a feeling. I just don't like them. I'm not making a statement about facts or reality. I'm making a statement of belief, and that doesn't require logical argumentation and or analysis. I believe that I personally could do without sea lions because I just don't like them. That's essentially what she's saying. Just clarify it. Then if he continues, then I could see that you could make the case that he's being some sort of troll. But that's not what the comic does. She just continues to not talk to him, to instead say, go away, go away, go away. And it's like, well, he's everywhere. He's invading her house. He's at the breakfast table. He just won't leave them alone. And she's the innocent victim who just doesn't like sea lions. And he is pretending to have a civil discussion. Well, actually, he is having a civil discussion. And they're being rude to him. Oh, well, he's showing up everywhere. Yeah, but just tell him why you don't like sea lions. And then, if he keeps going after that, then, okay, maybe you can complain then. Alright, I would get that. So this is a very badly written straw man construct. So you haven't really explained what sea lions are using your own straw man construct of what you think sea lions are. Anyways, so that's the comic. Let's go on. Despite what they say, sea lions do not want a productive discussion. Instead, their goals are twofold. To silence the conversation at hand by ... 2, making themselves the center of attention. That's one thing that they want done, supposedly. That doesn't need to be broken into two different... whatever. So, how would you... Okay, so let me just go back. So, sea lions are trolls in human clothing. A statement without any support or any reference or anything at all. It's just, this is the tautology. This is what you're supposed to think that these are. So, why do we need sea lion? We already have the internet idea of trolls. So why do we need a new word for trolls? Well, see, they're engaging you with an air of civility. So they're trying to be civil and nice to you. But they're really not being civil. See, which requires special knowledge on your part to know that they're really not being civil. And then if you only engage them for some time, an unquantified amount of time here, that their true purpose, again, special knowledge, becomes clear. So there's two special knowledges here. In fact, special knowledge is going to be a recurring thing throughout this, that you have to absolutely know that this person isn't really interested in being civil. They're pretending to be civil, they're acting civil, but they really just want to silence the conversation and get to be the center of attention. How you know that or derive that conclusion, I don't know. Let's find out. A sea lions achieve this through the following tactics. Here we go. Sea lions treat all conversations they disagree with as biased and illegitimate. Again, this could be a tautology. This could be what they really do, what they're really about, and all this, but there's nothing substance here. There's nothing to hold up this idea. Devil's advocate and gotta hear both sides claims are a sea lion's bread and butter, but insofar as they can be used to discredit conversations that they are not part of. And once a sea lion joins a conversation, ... Why all these ellipses? Is that really necessary to explain what this thing is? Okay, what? Alright, so what's wrong with playing devil's advocate? And what's wrong with hearing both sides? Nothing, in and of themselves. Independently, I would hope, and these are links, so I don't even want to click them and see where they go. I'm afraid. It will just be more madness. In and of themselves, though, I don't think that this single paragraph, based on what I'm reading, is saying that devil's advocate and or hearing both sides are bad in and of themselves. I would really hope that that's not the position they're taking. But what they're trying to say, I guess, is these are the tactics that these imagined sea lion trolls, or why not just call them trolls, I don't know, whatever. These are what they're going to do. Okay, so they start doing this, and now you should be alerted that they could be a sea lion potentially, which again you would have to have special knowledge to derive the idea that they're an actual sea lion. But nonetheless, we'll just go with the flow and keep going. Sea lions rarely, if ever, read, react, consider, respect, or respond to any counterpoint or evidence given to them. Interesting. But that contradicts what you just said. If the sea lion in the cartoon, I can't believe I'm talking about a sea lion in a cartoon, is not trying to make himself the center of attention, not trying to silence anything. He's trying to find out why they don't like sea lions, which he went about that the wrong way, I'll grant that. But in your straw man construct, he isn't doing what you want him to do, which doesn't make sense because somebody drew that straw man construct and spent time and energy to do so. And this is your citation that it's a citation. This is a citation! This comic is a citation that this blog is using to emphasize the point of what a sea lion is. So, how can they make themselves the center of attention and silence the conversation if they don't know what the conversation is? They have to read something, and they have to react to it. In fact, they are reacting to it. How do you know that they're not considering it? Why is respect relevant? And aren't they responding to the counterpoints given? In fact, again, going back to the straw man construct comic, boy, that's hard to say. There's no counterpoints given. Now you've done it. Don't say that out loud. Go away. You're in my house. I'm trying to eat breakfast. You're not There's no counter to anything. And there's no evidence either. You haven't given them any evidence in that straw man, so what are we basing this on? That's just okay. Since responding to others would draw attention away from them, sea lions aim to hijack conversations, which they can't do if they aren't the clear center of attention. When they do respond to others, it will be to quibble over militia, aka galloping. Oh, great. Do I have to look that up? I'm not going to look it up. Or arbitrarily change topics rather than move the debate forward. Well, here's the thing, though. You're not in a debate. Not in this comic, but you're not necessarily in a debate. I mean, depends what you're doing, but let's say that you were in a debate. Okay. Playing devil's advocate and hearing both sides are both things that one would want in a debate. And also responding to any evidence or points made would be part of a debate. And if somebody isn't doing that, fine. But you can't say, well, you didn't read this. You can't say, oh, you're not respecting this. Both of those are special knowledge, first of all. Secondly, the respect part, that's irrelevant. Let's get rid of that. Whether I respect what you've written is completely and utterly independent and irrelevant to what you wrote. I don't have to respect and or agree with it in order to respond to it. Okay? I'm not sure about reacting. I don't like that word either. I just would say respond. I wouldn't use all these other words myself if I was ever trying to write something like this, which I wouldn't, but at any rate. So, yeah, if somebody isn't looking at the evidence or counterpoints, then that can be a problem. Okay, I would tentatively agree to that being a real issue and a real problem to deal with. But that's a troll. We already have a word for it. Okay, so anyways, going on. While remaining civil, sea lions will say whatever they can to undermine and demean you. Really? Interesting. Outright lies. Hey, how's it going? Go, no! And ad hominem attacks are perfectly acceptable weapons to the sea lion. Whatever it takes to continue eliciting responses from you. If you want to see an example of sea lion treaties, Clickhole has written a fantastic parody. A parody wouldn't be a way to view the situation at hand. That's an analogy. That's an appeal to analogy. Now, it might not be fallacious, and I'm not going to click on it to see what the heck that says, because I could care less. I'm just analyzing this, and it needs to stand or fail on its own. Okay. Sea lions never disengage. They will run down the clock forever. For a sea lion, there's no such thing as the end of a discussion. They'll always make sure to get one last word over and over again. The longer a sea lion is allowed to continue to dominate conversation, the more attention they will get, and the less useful work you will get done. Wow. Really? Okay, I spent 2 hours talking to Christian on his channel. And he didn't want a debate, he wanted a discussion, which he tried to turn into a debate, and I suppose in his mind he did, and I suppose he won some points. I don't think that those 2 hours were wasted. Even though he heard my points, I do think he did hear that, because he was responding to the points I was making. And as far as wanting the last word or not wanting to disengage, I tried to end the conversation earlier and he kept going, so I kept going, and then I got to a point and I said, okay, let's wrap it up, let's end here, let's let this be the last thing, because I was done. Now, if he had kept going, I would have just left. You can always leave the conversation, whether it be in real life or online. You don't have to keep going. And so what if they want the last word? Then let them have the last word. Take the high road. You can leave. If you've made all the points that you wanted to make, and you made them as crystal clear as you're able to, then you're done. If you've supported your point with logic and evidence and citations and so on, you're done. You've done what you needed to do, and you don't have to keep going after that one person. If you feel like they're trolling you, or if you feel like this or you feel like that, you know what? You can pack it in and go away. You don't have to keep going at them. So I have found a way to categorize somebody as something negative, and therefore, when I identify these things, I'm not even going to bother to engage in them. That's what this is, I think. I would submit that to you for your analysis independent of mine. I've run into and dealt with people that don't want to disengage. I disengage. I let it go. And I move on. They want to keep going, fine. No skin off my teeth, or whatever the phrase is. I don't care. I'm done. I've said what I wanted to say, I presented what I wanted to present, and I moved on. And if they're on my channel and they just are spamming me, well, that's different. Then I'll block them. But there is a difference between spam and legitimate questions. And I don't even want to say legitimate questions, because I'll answer questions. I'll do the best I can. And yes, somebody can do their best to troll you. And there is some way to identify that. I don't think that we need another category like sea lion. But what I'm not seeing here is, how do you identify somebody as a sea lion? Well, these tactics, right? But these are tactics used in legitimate debate. So how do you separate one from the other? Oh, by the special knowledge. Right, okay. Sea lions will always claim victory by default. So Bible thumping wingnut would be a good example of that. Or was it, who was that other guy that would always say that he won and wanted to be challenged and would just declare victory if people wouldn't show up for the conversation. Whatever. People like them. Okay, fine. No matter what is said to counter them, or even if they're straight up ignored. Wait, what? If somebody is straight up ignored, then what's it matter? If you're really ignoring what they're saying, then you're not seeing what they're saying, or you're not hearing what they're saying. If you're deliberately are ignoring somebody, then whatever they're saying is to you irrelevant and completely and utterly not paid attention to. So how would you be able to say anything about what they're saying when you're ignoring them? Okay, so it's some problems with reality here, but whatever. A sea lion will always claim the moral high ground and victory in the, quote, debate. So now it's not a debate. So now it's a, quote, debate. A little consistency would be great here. Since fervency, can't pronounce that word, is often confused for sincerity online. Really? According to what? Sea lions use their unwavering stance to make any outright lies and ad hominem attacks they use appear more legitimate. What? First of all, if it's a fractal error, if it's an outright lie, then that's something quantifiable. And ad hominem attack is irrelevant when it is used to say, you are this bad thing, therefore your argument is bad. So you are a member of the KKK, therefore your arguments are invalid. That's an ad hominem attack. Yes, it's true, he is a member of the KKK, but that doesn't make his arguments automatically invalid, because they stand or fail on their own. Now, there is a gray area, even in informal logic. If we're talking about a person's deeds and actions, then what they have done is absolutely relevant. In the past, this person on trial has committed X number of burglaries. That's relevant because we're trying to prove that they've committed this burglary. And we have a history of them doing this, so it's reasonable to think that they probably will do this again, and probably have done this again, and that's why we're bringing up what they did before. So in that sense, bringing up issues of what the person is or has done is relevant. But it's a very narrow gray margin. Basically, it is straightforward, but also not. If somebody says, well, you're a feminist, therefore your argument's invalid, that's an ad hominem. That is a form of ad hominem. It is not attacking the ideas, it is attacking the group that person believes to. See the video I did on Steve Shine's Blocking Me, where he says MRA, they're all misogynistic, hate group, whatever. Well, that might be true, which he never did prove. That might be true, but their arguments still might be valid. So you have to attack the arguments. Well, he's not going to do that because he's not going to give attention to a hate group. No, attacking a hate group's arguments are a good thing to do. If no one attacked the KKK's arguments, then that would be bad, because their arguments would stand and would seem to be unchallenged by anybody. If nobody ever stood up to the bully and said what you're doing is wrong, then that bully wins. And this is what this is saying. This is saying, as in essence, that you're going to perceive these people that are asking you questions as if they're the bully, and therefore you're not going to give them anything at all, and you're not going to respond to them, and they're going to lose. I guess. I mean, okay, and if somebody claims victory by default, so what? Okay, whatever. They won in their own brain. Who cares? And if it's not a real debate, then why are we spending time on it? I mean, you put quotes around debates. I don't know. Sea lions will return unless you remain silent. Sea lions want your silence, or rather, your intellectual silence. Now, wait a minute. This is contradicting what it said before, because it said if you ignore a sea lion, which means you're still speaking, you're still talking, you're still doing whatever, but you're ignoring them. So that's silence in regards to them. So now it's saying, well, it's not really your silence, it's not really ignoring them, that's not going to work. What they really want is just you to be quiet. But not really quiet, they want your intellectual quietness. Like, how do you know this? Special knowledge. So another third special knowledge here. Sea lions treat discussions like wars of attrition. Their words are not wielded for enlightenment, as seen in the points above. That does not follow. Sorry, no. But rather to punish people they don't agree with by hogging the spotlight. By flooding your email, comments, and mentions with endless and repeated unsolicited questions. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Unsolicited questions? What? Okay. So, you make a video about whatever. Issue X. And you don't think that anyone's going to have any questions? Oh, well, I don't want those questions. I want these questions instead. You're not allowed to ask me... Oh, whatever. Sea lion... Okay, never backing down even when asked to do so. Really? Interesting. So, I've seen that, but I've seen it from the people that say that sea lions are a real thing, not from the people who don't think that sea lions are a real thing. So it might be projection here. I don't know. Anyways, sea lions engage in a stalking and harassment campaign that is veiled in civility. Well, first of all, you can prove stalking and or harassment. And in fact, harassment is only harassment when someone is harassing you. Not when someone is trying to be civil and polite. That is not harassment. And stalking, again, can be proven. And yeah, I guess you could have a civil stalker, but you can prove that they're stalking you. Oh, goodness gracious. You know, there's a thing in email that just blocks people. You could use that. You could use the ignore button. You could block them from your YouTube or your blog or whatever. Goodness gracious. The goal of which is to make their targets dread the endless blowback from saying anything online. Want peace in your life ever again? Then you better remain silent. Oh my word. Seriously. So, in other words, the sea lions will keep coming after you. Keep coming after you. They just want your silence. But don't give in. Keep saying what you want to say. But don't respond to the sea lion either. Don't engage them. Don't answer their questions. Don't tell them anything about anything at all, no matter how civil or nicely they treat you. Because they're evil and they're a sea lion and they just want this and this and this and this. Oh my word. How are you ever going to have a discussion with anybody that disagrees with your ideas? Oh, right. You're not. Sea lions lead the charge for the skunks. Oh, great. Okay. See below. Play bad cop to the sea lions, good cop. Sea lions provide the rhetorical justifications that inflame the skunks and drive them to more damaging harassment of their target. What are skunks? They're an animal that makes a smell if you scare it. I'm not reading any more. Here's a thing that could be actually useful. Data. Now, since we're dealing within social science, then let's approach this with the scientific method in mind. You, as a group, have access to a wide variety of data center points that you could utilize. In the sociology class, the women's studies class, the feminism class, let's just call it what it is, They could, if they wanted to prove that this was a real phenomenon, get data from people using computers. They have plenty of computer labs at the university or the college that they're at. It wouldn't be that difficult to get with the computer people that run the computer lab and gain permission to do a study. And you would simply need a sign up that says the computer might be monitored for educational purposes and or safety issues. So everyone coming in will see that sign, and they can't complain that their stuff was monitored. And obviously you exclude the names of the people posting. But what you do is you look at people's posting habits, you look at people's responding habits, and you see if there is anything to this idea of asking questions in a civilized manner but not really being interested in the answer to those questions. You can graph that out. You can chart that out. You can collect data points about this. You would have to have probably an arbitrary number of questions, let's say 10. If they ask more than 10 questions, then they're probably trolling you or something like this. Or if they do it in this manner, this is what we're... But you know what you do? You don't go in saying, well, we're going to find this. What you do is you go in and you get all the data, and then you put it up, and you see what it tells you. That's what you're supposed to do when you want to do a scientific sort of study. Just to find out what people's posting habits are. How do people respond to things? But then it gets a little bit more complex because the feelings of those people are also something that could be studied in a way, but that would require that as they exit the computer room that you also somehow get them to volunteer to talk to a psychologist or a therapist or somebody who could ask them about their feelings about what they read or what they posted or whatever, and try to deduce from here's the hard data, now here's the subjective feeling data, and compare and contrast these and graph that out and see where it leads, if anywhere. And that's all something that they could really do. They have the power to do it. They have the resources to do it. They have the time to do it. And it would take time because you're going to want to do this for a long period of time over various campuses around the nation, perhaps even globally. You know, you're going to want to do this as poll questions, but the poll questions have to be very carefully worded, has to be included in a larger poll. Your polling people cannot know what this poll is for, so they are not themselves biased in getting a certain answer from people, and so on and so forth. Scientific stuff that is not present anywhere on this blog. Well, Deconverted Man, you're being too harsh. It's just a blog. Blogs aren't taken seriously. Well, they are, unfortunately, being taken seriously by many people who identify as feminists. Not all. I'm sure that there are smart, well-educated, well-spoken feminists out there. I've seen one on YouTube. And she was telling the modern-day feminists that they were wrong. But she was using logic and sound arguments and data points. And I'm like, hey, I'm for her. Yeah, what she's saying makes total sense. Because she's telling the students, that she's telling the people of the modern day era, you're going against what we fought for. We fought for your ability to vote. We fought for your ability to go to class. We fought for all of these things that I guess you could call privileges. And you're throwing all that away by arguing against free speech, by arguing that people don't ask questions, by arguing all these mundane minutia stuff, fighting for dictionaries to change their wordings, fighting for women to be portrayed a certain way in video games or not to be portrayed in a certain way. All these things that just don't matter to anyone except you. And they're very small battles, and I guess you go after the battles you can win, but why? Those aren't going to help anyone. If there is really, for real, a place or time when being a woman means that you can't get X thing, and there's no tangible reason other than you're a woman, then that's wrong. And I would say it's wrong. And I would say let's get rid of that, because that's stupid. And the same goes for if you're a guy and you can't do this thing just because you're a guy. But there are things that are legitimate. A guy can't give birth. Well, that really sucks. Man, I just want to be able to give birth. We better fight for the ability to give birth. Well, I guess we could. I guess we could get scientists to get a guy, all the stuff that you would need to be able to have birth. Yeah, I guess we could do that. It's a lot of waste of money and manpower and or people power, if you will, to do that. But okay, I guess if we really wanted to, we could. But we could be spending that time on far more productive things, which is probably the only thing I can possibly see as a nugget of actual usefulness in this blog, is you have better things to do with your time. You know what? If you believe any of this blog about sea lions, and if you've ever used the word sea lion to describe somebody, then you know what? You do have something better to do with your time. And you're not doing it. Coming up with ways to not respond to people or not engage with people that don't agree with your ideas is not a good use of your time. Telling people to not debate because of this, that, or the other is not a good use of your time. This is an open marketplace of ideas. My ideas are just as open to be challenged as anyone else's. Man, woman, or both. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the argument and the data and the facts. Your feelings do not matter in regards to the facts. Your feelings matter on a subjective, personal level, and if you are getting upset, go get a therapist. But don't expect me to walk around on eggshells on certain words or not analyze things because doing so might upset or offend you. Too bad. You don't have the monopoly on pain and suffering. I've had pain and suffering in my life. The way I deal with it is different than the way you deal with it. But you know what? I deal with it. And I don't expect everyone else outside of who I am to deal with it for me. Nor should I. And that's what these people are basically doing. You can't say this word because it will upset me. Well, now I'm going to say it all the time. Just to upset you. Don't draw Muhammad. Don't draw Muhammad. That's exactly what this is. When you tell people don't do something because it will upset you, people are going to do that. Well, then they're jerks. That's not right. Maybe. On some level, it's not. But you know what? You've said, I'm a victim. Don't beat me up. Don't advertise. Don't be a victim. And the only way to stop being a victim is to learn how to deal with the problems that you've had in the past, the problems that you're facing in the present, and the problems that you might face in the future. And if you can't do that, well, I don't know how you're going to function in the real world. And I certainly don't know how you're going to function online where people just don't care. The internet is a place where religion comes to die. And this thing, from what I've read, looks exactly like apologetic pages that I've read. This is a religion. It's time for it to die. I'm pro people's rights. Man, woman, everything in between. I want you to have the same rights as everyone else. But I'm not going to curtail what I say or what I analyze to spare your feelings, and no one else should either. We don't have any empirical evidence here, although we could and should have that. We don't have any tests being performed or have been performed, and thus no repeatable tests that we could run. We certainly don't have any logically coherent argument. And unless and until we do, we must continue to be skeptical of the conclusions.